Good morning, sim captains and crew. Welcome to Deming Municipal Airport in southwestern New Mexico. Today we're going to do a flight in the Simcoders Reality Expansion Pack of the default Cessna 172. We will be flying to Winkler County, Texas today. Our total flight mileage is 234 nautical miles. Our estimated flight time will be 2 hours and 16 minutes. My aim is to brush up on some VOR to VOR navigation, and then we may go ahead and cross-check that with the actual Garmins that are on board the 172. So if you'll follow along with me, we'll go ahead and prepare the cabin for start. We're going to go over here and actually I have to go to the maintenance and put the battery on here. If you guys have seen my previous video, I have an overview of this, and you can take a look at that. And, you know, we'll go ahead and start the preheating as well. So we've just turned the battery on, and we got the air blowing in there to warm our engine up. And we'll go ahead and just go to the walk around. Let's get rid of this. I'm not worried about the lights. So our control surfaces are fine. I'm really going to skip those. I just want to get rid of the tie downs and the wheel chocks. And we'll continue around. We have sufficient oil there for the flight today. Finished, and then I'll just go out and take one last look around here. Pitot is uncovered. We have chocks removed and tie downs are removed. So we'll be happy with that. We can see up top we've got the warning here, engine's cold, start with caution, monitor. So that pops up. That's in addition to the reality expansion pack here. Mass and balance. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this today. I'm about 170 there. And pull that out. Let's say I've got a 50-pound luggage bag. Now for my fuel today, I'll go over this as we probably after we get airborne, but I want a total of 38 gallons here. So that's wow, my math's really rough right now. See, 15 is 30, so is that 19 a tank? Carry the 138, yep, okay. So I would like that. Our flight time today in minutes is going to be, see, that's 2 hours and 16. So that's 136. So we'll punch that in. We can see here our empty weight, 1721. Payload is us and baggage. Fuel at 19 gallons a side. Well under our maximum. If we look over here, we can see this is our takeoff CG and our landing CG, both well within the envelope. We'll apply that and then close. So we've already completed our walk around. I'm actually going to flip this over. I hope you guys are having a good morning today. It's 10 till 9 as I record this. Our weather's cold. The flight should be smooth. There is a possibility when we get to Winkler County that there They have gusting winds now, but they may also have blowing dust was in the forecast. So we'll see how that goes. The intent of this flight is a VFR flight. I plan to cruise at 9,500. And I also kind of want to go back and forth and touch on a couple different things. I'm going to be using SkyVector for navigation. I'm going to be using the instruments in here for VOR. We'll probably back that up with the Garmin simulated XPlane 530 and 430 over here. And again, the Simcoders expansion pack. So I'm going to kind of be doing a couple different things, using a couple different weather websites. And in some ways, I hope this is a tutorial. In some ways, it's kind of just for me to refresh myself as we go along with it. And hopefully it's something you guys can all enjoy. Maybe I can learn something, you can learn from it as well. So again, we're going to continue this flight, and this will be from Deming Municipal in New Mexico. And this airport's actually at an altitude of 4314 MSL. And we will be going to Winkler County in Texas, which is set at 2821 MSL. All right, so I just want to go back over here. The kneeboard we don't need right now. Mass balance we did. Walk around is complete. We don't need to tow it. Our maintenance report. We'll go ahead and run over this while the engine's still warming up. We have 17.4 hours in this airframe. Our oil's good. Fuel filter's clean. All that's good. We're still warming up here on our engine temp, so we'll let that get good and warm before start. It's actually, I think, 4 degrees C outside, so recharge our battery there, and we are connected. Okay, all that is okay. So we want to go ahead and get this thing warmed up. So while that's happening, I'll talk you through our flight plan here. So our flight plan today sees us leaving out of Deming. We're going to effectively fly from Deming here over to Newman, our VOR. So we'll fly the 094 outbound here, come to Newman, then we will go to Salt Flat. And then we'll tune up Winkler as we get closer. We may break off and then come in and land. So this will be our flight plan. If you're not familiar with it, this is skyvector.com. You can just go there. It's free. I believe it's at an actual website. You know, if you can file flight plans and stuff through. We don't want to do that. But your airport information's here. I've got it set at 9,500 for our altitude today, which will be our cruise. A true airspeed of 100 is kind of what I'm shooting for. I think that's about 2,200 RPM, about 50% power. If we click on the nav log, which I've already got loaded here, we'll get our information here, our true airspeed, our headings, our ground speeds, the distance between legs, and time, etc. Again, 2 hours and 16 minutes is what we're looking for today. I also have pulled up here, winds are either unavailable or 0 here today at Deming. 10 miles visibility, clear, temperature 4, dew -9, and altitude 3006. We can go ahead and set that right now. Let's see what's that, 300, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we'll have that set, and while we're at it, we'll go ahead and set our compass here, 27. 262, let's call it 259. And we'll go there, 259. All right, so we have our turn coordinator set, magnetic compass set, altimeter is set. And again, if I come back to here, here is our forecast. I updated this a little bit ago. As you can see here at Winkler County, the winds are pretty rough. 16 gusting 27, that's really going to push us. 10 miles. Clear skies though, so that's good. But the wind could beat us up, 17 gusting 27. We're looking at a 2-hour flight, so that's what, 15, 16, 17, almost 1800 Z. So you can see here we got blowing dust in the forecast temporarily. So we'll see how that looks when we get there. Our winds aloft data, we're around this area here in New Mexico, and we're going to be flying to Wink, Texas, which is here. Our winds are light. I've got it set at, there's 12,000. It's a little high for us. So 9,000, we're looking at winds out of the north, 10 to 20. So that shouldn't affect our ground speed a whole lot. But again, this is our route, and we'll be referring back to this as we go. And I'll go over my fuel calculations momentarily. Let's go ahead and go back and check on our engine temperature. Preheat needed. That thing's still going. Okay. It's 9:58 local here in Texas. That's very almost 1700, and again you can see it's cold. So we'll pause here, let the engine continue to warm up, and you guys will rejoin me again soon. Okay, welcome back, captains and crew. It's been a couple minutes here. I turned the battery off to save our juice. We're up to 40 degrees. I've actually never had a cold start in this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and stop this and see if we can actually do a cold start. I know if I click this engage, it's going to automatically warm it up. So I don't want to do that. I want to actually try a cold start and see what happens. So we'll stop the preheater. Close this. Go to our knee board. Belts we don't need to worry about. Brakes test and set. Those are set. Fuel selector to both. Fuel shut off in. Circuit breakers checked. Beacon on. Avionics off. Master switch on. Throttle 1/4 inch open. We'll try that, see if that works. Mixture idle cutoff. If cold, which we are, aux pump to on, mixture rich until 3 to 5 gallons per hour, then cut off. So look here on our fuel flow. I think that's how we do that. Okay, we'll zoom out. Propeller area looks clear. So I need to richen this just a little bit. And clear prop. All right, there we go. Successful start. Ignition switch both. Mixture rich. Engine 1000. Bring the throttle back here just a little bit. Mixture leaned max. Flaps retract. We already had those up. You drop that down for the walk around. Okay, we'll go ahead and get this alternator on to start charging our battery up. Avionics on and instruments set. Get rid of this for now. Okay, so we already set up our turn coordinator. Our magnetic compass matched that. We already have our altimeter set correctly. Our first outbound leg is going to be 094 on the Delta Mike November Deming VOR, so I have that set up at 094 here. And then Newman is going to be 089, which I have set on nav 2. So we'll let this continue to warm up. We'll get our temperature in the green here, and then we'll rejoin it after a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and program. I'm going to program this, the 530, just to have a backup to cross-check with these. Okay, so I've installed the flight plan here. Again, this is Deming, Newman, Salt Flat, and Winkler County is actually our final one there. So the winds are calm here. I'll pull up ATIS. We're going to go ahead and depart runway 8. It's right down here, then we're going to make a right turn, and then the Pappy's right here will be our departure since we're heading to the east, and we're not online, so there's no traffic on. But I'll give you guys ATIS right now.
Deming Muni weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 4, dew point -9. Altimeter 3006.
Alright, so we'll go back to our keyboard here. So taxi, our compass, and then all the way down to before takeoff. So we'll do all this as we get closer down there. But for the time being here, we'll go ahead and make sure we're clear here. Turned here. I have my brakes regular effort toggled to a joystick, so my braking is going to be very, very rough and poor on here. So check that, and that looks, what would you guys call that, 170? And I would call this 170. I like to look at this right down the middle, because it's kind of, as you can see here, it's offset. It's not in the, it's close to the middle, but I don't know that it's quite. The shadow could be messing up, but this is also round, so it looks like 160 something. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, guys. Pick you up down by the run-up. Alright, so we're sitting down here at the end. We got parking brakes now set. I'm going to see flight controls free and correct. That's kind of hard to see that way. There's full right. Left and right. Forward, backwards. Can't remember which key I configure. There we go. Pull up, pull down, pull left and right on the rudders. Alright. Flight instruments. Okay, all this is good. Let's see, we got our pitot off. Did want to set up the heading. Runway 08 here. We'll set it pretty close to that. This is all checked. Our temperature's coming up. Pressure's good. Alright. So flight instruments are set. Fuel selector to both. That is checked. Mixture rich for run up. Autopilot disconnect. Autopilot is off. Okay. So rich for run up. And 1800 RPM. 16, 17, 18. Ammeter. Good. Vacuums in the green. Green, green. Alright, that is all good. Check, 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 check. Suction. Mags. There's about 100 RPM. It's a 0 between the two. And back up. Idle. And we're going to lean it back out. That'll keep us from fouling the plugs, which the expansion pack does simulate. Radios, all we have is ATIS because we're not online. We're not using any ATC. Mixture rich below 3000, which we're not. So that takes care of that one. Our next one will be our takeoff checklist. All right, lights on as required. So let's get our landing. I didn't turn our taxi, shame on me. Strobes on. Transponders on. Squawk at VFR. Full power, climb at 79. I'm going to do a flaps up takeoff here. And I did not check my trim. Shame on me again. Alright. And you know what? We will go here. And we'll get our lapse time going. And let me just jot this down here. 1722 is our takeoff. Fuel rich. Off we go. Knots. Try and trim for 79. Forgot my instruments here, 1086. Again, another fail on me. Just trying to hold that climb at about 79. We look over here, climb speed 79. Up the trim just a little bit. Alright. Just flew past my outbound arc there, as you can see on the nav 1. We're looking for 094. There's a pretty quick change too. It must have been really close to the VOR. There we go. It's starting to come back around if you look right here. Start making our course adjustment for that that 094. And that's close enough. I'll go ahead and make the turn here. Try and line this up. See if we can get our autopilot on. Get it on the heading right now. Nav 1 is on, so let's go to nav. I'm going to very closely watch this. I don't like climbing in vertical speed mode, because if you can see the airspeed's decaying right now. If you hold it there, you can obviously risk getting into stall territory. I really hope you guys are able to hear me here. So I think I had this set up incorrectly. I ended up switching over to GPS here. And as you can see, we're flying on our line there. Okay. So we're on our desired course. It's actually showing a 089. But then as I turned this off, it actually told me over on the GPS, like here, message, to set course to 098. So yes, it's possible. Maybe that's our picking up our wind correction. Actually, I need to pay attention here. I just passed my altitude there. Go ahead and descend back to 9,500. And there we go, we'll hold altitude. I did lean the mixture slightly for better RPM. Right there. And I'm going to go ahead and richen it up just a touch. There we go. All right. So we'll settle in here and let it cruise. We're on our way to Newman. and bring it back to 2200. There we go. We'll see where it settles in there. Well, I don't think you guys want to see about an hour and a half of Cessna footage, but you'll notice as we fly along, we've got a road over here, and if I pull this back up, if you follow along, we've actually got the interstate here. So see, we're kind of diverging from the interstate, so we're probably right around here. Maybe I'll look further back and see if we can get this KINK here. Looks like we have some power lines possibly here that also run to the south, and our road kind of goes to the north, and we have an airport further up. So if we look, some type of interchange there. Could be looking at the wrong one. This might be our S right here, and it looks like we have power lines right here. Go outside and take a look. Here we have some power lines. And then if we go back to here, I think this is probably what we're looking at here. No, actually, yeah, if we're along this, sorry. Yeah, that would be that, and then here's our power lines running to our left. And it looks like we might actually have some, we'll end up coming out of our right side as well. There you go. So we're kind of right here at the split. Yeah, I'd say we're right around this area here because we have the highway on our left, and then we have some on the right as well. So kind of, or sorry, rather right here. We have some on the left and some on the right. So oops, I didn't want to do that. Here we go. We'll be heading. We'll have Fort Bliss and El Paso coming up ahead on our right, which is probably this area out here. We'll just enjoy the flight, and you guys can join me again soon. Actually, forgetting that I had loaded this up, we can actually look right here. You can see El Paso, LRU coming up to our right here. And let's see, where's LRU? Right here, Las Cruces. So we're looking right here. We thought we were in this neighborhood here because of the splitting. And we have the airport right over there. So you can see, even with the default scenery in XPlane, they do a fair enough job with marking the power lines, roadways, and terrain for you to use a website such as SkyVector to VFR yourself around. So it's a great tool for kind of mixing even a basic aircraft with a free web page and just what's in it, and you can really navigate and learn. And if we look too at the mountain ranges over here, we can pop those up, and this is effectively what we're looking at right here, which is just inside this restricted area. And the other reason I picked, we have 9,400 foot restriction here. That's the other reason I picked the 9,500 for our cruise. So probably a lot of forklift training areas right here. Hope you kind of enjoyed that. I'm sorry if that wasn't quite too seamless. My intent was to kind of showcase some of the ability to just use the default scenery and look at like our power lines, our roadways, and you can really use visual navigation coupled with a website such as SkyVector there, and you can fly around even without subscription charts or significant instrument knowledge, and really just enjoy the game. So here we're nearing the Newman VOR. I've got it overlaid up here on the map, you know, with the SkyVector. So we're making a slight course adjustment to the left. I have here on nav 2 dialed up 113.0, so that's our salt flats. So this is going to be the outbound here, radial here. So that should turn and center this needle once we cross over. Look at the nav log, and I look here, our estimated time, 44 minutes. So we're 2 minutes and 30 seconds from that, and we're at almost 44 minutes. So we're within a couple minutes of the estimated time according to all this with the weather prediction already in it. So again, this is near El Paso, so we're only, I don't even know that we're halfway at this point. Actually, no, because we only have 43 minutes of flight time, which is about 2 hours and 16 minutes. But anyway, we're coming up near a nav point, so I just wanted to point that out there. If you guys load your Simcoders and you notice these are gone over here on the left, what I did, I had to go in and I had to update it. As of recording this, XPlane 11.30 came out probably within the last week or two. I had not flown this since then, and these icons over here didn't pop up, so I actually couldn't even start the aircraft because it could reconnect the battery. So if you guys get that, go in there, read how to update it. I forget, you have to have the plug-in here, the Skunk Crafters. If you get the Skunk Crafters update, you'll update it. I actually had it for this, for the default Baron with the reality expansion pack. It needed an update, as well as the, I think it's the Aerobast Robin VR401. So all three of those actually had updates. So I assume it has something to do with the XPlane 11.30 update. But if you see these missing, go do that, and it came right back. So I think that's what it was. The one thing I've noticed so far, we don't seem to get the wobbles on the tack like we used to. And I don't recall when we went through engine start, but generally this attitude indicator kind of, it wobbles until that gyro comes up to speed. So not sure if that's something that 11.30 affected, if the patch and update kind of smoothed that out, or what. Again, I'm not exactly sure on what changed, but those are two things I've noticed so far with the reality expansion pack that have changed. This, especially during idle, this was very pronounced. It would wobble, 100, 150 RPM. So, all right, well, we're just north of El Paso here and continuing on. So one other thing I did want to bring up was my fuel calculation. So in this POH that I have shown right here, they had 1.4 gallons as an estimate. I think this is from short field performance. 1.4 gallons for engine start to takeoff. So I rounded that up to 1.5. The climb sheet had 3.9 gallons to 10,000 feet. And I figured here on 8 gallons per hour, we're at 9,500, so I use 8,000, which is lower. We're gonna, I ballparked 8 gallons per hour, so we're actually at what now, almost 2,400 RPM now. So 8.2, 108 knots through, which I think we're getting close to that. So the flight was 2 hours and 16 minutes at 8 gallons an hour. That would be 18 gallons or 18 gallons for cruise. I figured 2 gallons for descent, probably not that much. And then I added 1 hour of contingency or reserve fuel, which was another 8 gallons. And then I added 10% onto the end. So if you add up my 1.5 for start to takeoff, 3.9 gallons to climb, my 18 gallons of cruise fuel, 2 gallons for descent, and 8 gallons for 1 hour reserve. That's 33.4 gallons, which I rounded up to 34 gallons. Now, if you add on the approximately 10%, that's going to be about another 3.4 gallons, which put me at 38. So we should land with plenty of fuel. We have plenty of fuel for, should we need to divert, which I don't know. It's a sim, and it's looking windy when we get there, so I probably won't anyway. But we have plenty of fuel for the flight. That's how I came up with how much fuel I was going to load on board. Again, you can look here. This is a POH that I found online. We're at 9,500, so our numbers might be a little bit better than these. Maybe a little bit worse. Actually, probably not worse, probably a little better. But if I scroll further up, here was the time and fuel to climb. So, what did I figure on? 3.9. That was to 10,000 feet. Now, you read here in the notes, add 1.4 for start, which that's what I rounded up to 1.5. Lean mixture above 3,000. I didn't quite do that because we were climbing, and I think we were at 4,300 anyway. So we actually only climbed, 5,000 feet in altitude. Now, once we got, I think once I got around 8,000, I think I leaned for RPM. So that actually may have hurt us a little bit. We may have been able to climb a little bit faster. But this was, flaps off full throttle standard. So this is where I got the numbers to calculate our fuel burn. So if we remove the reserve and the 10%, we're still looking at about 26 gallons of fuel used. So we'll see when we get there what we actually burn and kind of compare it. But I just wanted to let you guys know that's how I calculated. I know when I dropped the fuel in earlier, I said I'd discuss it later, but that was pretty much why I did that, how I came to our fuel that we were going to load on the aircraft today. So here we are about 5 minutes out from Salt Flat, as you can see here. So we're 8.5 miles, so right over here. We check our log at 1 hour and 19 minutes, and we are currently at 1 hour and 16. So again, very close. That's kind of just reinforces how you can use this website, which is, it's free, just skyvector.com. Go there, punch in your departure destination, your estimated speed, your altitude, and then you can kind of actually click and drag lines and make your own routes. And click on this and it'll add it. It'll update to your nav log. So, but if we look out over here, if you go back to Skyvector, you can see there's these flats around here. Okay. And then if we go look outside the aircraft, and this goes back to what I was saying earlier, where you can, by using that side in a VFR sectional, along with the default XPlane, I mean, that's what we're looking at here. The aircraft itself is default, but with the expansion pack added. So you get this, you get the little tweaks they made to the flight dynamics and all that, but pretty sure our texturing, most of our texturing might all be default. So, but again, we just look out here, we can see this. We can see some mountains right here just to the south side. And if I pull that back up, see this? And then here's our mountain right here. 6,600 foot, or 6,680, almost 7,000. And if we look out here, it's like a plateau. I forgot to do that. All right, so yeah, understood. About every 15 minutes or so, it's a good idea to double check this. So we're at that 90, 85. Move this out of the way. 85. Okay, let's let it stabilize there. 5. Understood. Now, one thing to note, our cruise altitude was 9,500 feet. Actually, we're on our last leg here, so we've got about an hour to go. Which, if we add that up, that's an hour and 21. And our original estimate was 216, so that would put us about 5 minutes late. But if I go back over here, you can see here 9,100 is our peak. So we've got 8,700 over here at Guadalupe Peak, which is right over here to our left. 49, 37, and then finally to Winkler County, which is here. So we have no high terrain between where we're at and where we were before. Now, back toward the beginning of our flight, all the way back up Deming. See here, 15,200. 15,200 here. But if we look right down here toward the southern end of this grid square, unmarked balloon to 15,000. So that is really our obstruction. Everything between here and there, we had 7,500 on these mountains, which, you know, we were going this direction, so that could have been a concern. 5,500 here. We're at 7,000 now once we get into this grid square. So 9,500 was more than enough based on the direction we were going and the obstacles that we had. So that's how you can look at this chart. You can use it for your VFR navigation planning for XPlane or Flight Sim or P3D, whatever simulator that you're choosing to use. And then we want, was that 073 out of here, 255 in. So we go 255. Here we're straight on the line. So we're 255 in. Now, what we'll see is since we're on nav and we're going direct to airport, this one will actually start to deviate and tell us that we'll need to fly, actually it'll go this way, tell us that we need to fly over the left because we're tuned to the VOR here instead of here where we have the airport actually in it. So this is one thing that always confuses me here. This says 150 nautical miles, which I would assume it is. But if we're 89 miles to our destination, why isn't it showing it up at the airport? See here, 200, 89 miles from this, so that scale seems like it's kind of wrong. But anyway. All right, well, that's it for now. We'll check in closer to our approach and landing. So we've just gotten into range of ATIS, so I want to go ahead and play that for you guys here.
Winkler County. Wind 030 at 16 gust 25, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 12, dew point -2. Altimeter 3004.
Okay, so 030 and we're really gusty. The altimeter actually did change from a second ago, it was 3001. I'll put that back to 3004. 5 miles per 1,000 feet or so, then that'll put me descending about 30 miles out. So want to be very careful when descending. Don't want to shock cool the engine by pulling power, dive bombing like we can do in turbines, turboprops. So we'll be cautious while doing that, try and keep an eye on our temperatures and speeds and everything. But again, that'll be around 30 miles out and we'll see how that works out. And if we look here, guys, Red Bluff Lake. So if we look over here, this is Red Bluff Lake. So it's really cool how there's just enough detail. I mean, we can make fun of the default scenery. It's not Corvex quality or it's not the Ortho XP. But even if you're just trying to do navigation, VFR, or the attention to detail, and just noticing like bodies of water, some of these landmarks, going to just the default scenery is actually pretty impressive if you break it down and if you look at it and utilize these tools and you can really compare. I mean, we've seen several examples already on this flight of how you can use the Skyvex. We're looking at basically a VFR sectional, and we can navigate. And we can double check our navigation, GPS, VOR, just what we're seeing. So it's really impressive. I know default stuff generally doesn't get a whole lot of love, but in this situation, you know, it's something for that an enthusiast or hobbyist can do. Someone who wants to use these type of tools for real life flight training. They want to brush up on what they're doing. Right here we got another snake with some water coming out as well. Anyway, enough of that. We'll jump back in. We should be getting close to this thing very soon. So we're a little over 8 miles out. I'm going to go ahead and just look through the knee board here before landing. Seat belts, we're going to need them right now with this bumpy stuff. Fuel selector to both, that is set. Engine gauges check. We are green, green, green. That looks good. Heading indicator is aligned. I just aligned it. We are about 7-1, and here we're about okay, well. Get rid of these guys. Okay. Where we at again? About 7.5. And about 7.5. Altimeter setting is checked. We are 3004. Radios are set. It really doesn't matter. Autopilot is still on. We'll turn it off as soon as we get ready to make it into our downwind. So we'll hold on. Mixture, I did run it up. And flaps. Due to the wind, it's going to be almost a 90 degrees cross at 25, gusting 30 or something. We're probably only going to go flaps 10. I really don't want to go more than that. Let's see what it's. Pick up ATIS again. Okay, we can see there that the runway extends, so I'm going to go ahead and kick off the autopilot and let's start heading downwind here. Looking for 130 on the downwind. Got some power lines there as well, so it'll be nice to keep an eye on. About 200 feet. I'd like to be about 1 notch. See, it's really pulling the speed down. Second notch in here. See that windsock blowing straight out there. Oh, I don't have a rudder to kick with this. That was really, really rough. Alright, let's see. Let's get that pulled out. Let's get flaps out. First off, blow me over. See that windsock there is same way. Wow, that was pretty difficult. Let me turn this around, then you can get my bearings and see what taxiways are available versus which ones are runways. Okay, so if what I looked up online is correct, there should be a taxiway to our left, which will pretty much take it all the way out to where I guess either the terminal or an FPO is. This one here looks like a runway. And these lights look like they're in a bad spot. So I don't even think I landed by here. I think I was further down. That wind was no joke. Alright, so whatever, we'll taxi this thing kind of down this way and get to the end and kind of shut it down. Okay, well, unfortunately, I guess Winkler County is not accurately rendered here in XPlane 11. So I'm going to go ahead and just pull over off to the side here, and then we'll start shutting down. Okay, so we have arrived there. Before landing, we sort of did that. My last two videos have not been great on the landing. Okay, so after landing, lights except beacon. There's our beacons of landing. Eventually we'll get it. Taxi nav strobe. Veto E, we'll turn that one off. Transponder off. Flaps up. That is checked. Trim neutral. Yeah, something like that. Throttle idle. Mags ground. I actually don't know how to do that unless just click it all the way off and then back. So, throttle 1,000. And see, throttle 1,000, avionics off. Master cutoff. Master alternator off. Maybe that was supposed to happen first. Ignition switch off. Hobs and tack record. Well, we're at about 12.7, 12.8. I don't remember what we started at. I had the flight time written down. There we go. So flight time was 2:24:30. So that's not terribly bad. We had planned 2 hours and 16 minutes, so 2 hours and 24. What is that? 8 minutes long. So not terribly bad. We'll go ahead and secure the aircraft here. Let's see, tie downs, chocks, propeller, fuel. Okay, so I'm going to kill this again. Beacon will go off. Sure, we'll flick that over to the right. Get rid of this. Do our post-flight. I turned the pitot off, so we'll cover that. Tie down. Tie down. Chock. Cover. Tie down. Chock. And finish. So we don't have the yoke or control lock, but we'll put our parking brake on there as well. Well, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today as we flew from Deming Municipal in New Mexico to Winkler County in western Texas. We had a 234.3 nautical mile flight today that we did in the default Cessna 172 with the Simcoders reality expansion pack. Our estimated trip time was 2 hours and 16 minutes. Our actual trip time was 2 hours and 24 minutes. So we were pretty close on that. As I alluded to during our cruise, when I calculated the fuel, I went back in our trip estimate, so not including our reserve and the contingency, was 25.4 gallons was the estimate. We actually used 18 gallons. We still have a 10 in each tank. So if you'll recall, we loaded 19 in each tank when we started. So all in all, not a bad flight. It was smooth on departure all the way through the flight. We had some bumps coming in, and then of course we saw that I think we landed on one or maybe two wheels and rolled most of the runway for that. But anyway, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today on this flight from Deming to Winkler. And as always, we'd like to remind you to plan the flight and fly the plan. We hope to see you on board again soon.